So, 18 female, dad, 45 male, and I have lived together since my mom passed away 7 years ago. They bought a house together, and after she passed, I inherited her half of the house. Next year, I'm moving out for college, and my dad's fiance, 39, her daughter, 14, and their dog, 2 male, are moving in. Our house has 3 floors. My room's on the 2nd floor. I chose it specifically because it has many windows, and I like light. I was also able to make it so that not only it could become my safe haven, but my cats, 6 female, as well. The 3rd floor has an independent bathroom, is separated into a floor with only 1 window, and another one that could work out as sort of a game room or office, with a little nook on the side that we padded. I assumed that my stepsister would be moving there since it's bigger. She would have her own bathroom, and that nook is perfect for their dog, who likes small places much more than my cat. When I was packing up my things to start the move, my dad started bringing in boxes. I asked what they were, and he said they were my stepsister's things, that he was putting them there for when she moved into my room. I tried to keep as calm as possible, asking him why he didn't consult me about this since it was my room, and wouldn't it be better for her to stay in the other room? He said he didn't talk to me because it was his house, and I'd be leaving anyway. So I reminded him that I was in fact co-owner of the house, that I'd still be coming back, and that this room is my cat's safe haven, who would have to stay here since I can't have her at the dorms, and I don't want to disrupt her even more than she already would be with a dog in the house. She doesn't like dogs. My dad scoffed and said if I wanted to pull that card, I should have been paying bills, and I completely blew up. I told him that while I didn't pay bills, I cleaned, cooked, and did laundry on my own for 5 years while working a 60-hour week for school so I could get a full-ride scholarship, which I did. I told him that without me, this house wouldn't even be livable, and that he can't just dismiss that. He said none of that matters now since I'd be moving away, so I did something that I'm not sure I should have done. I went out the next day and used some money I had saved up to buy security cameras, installed them in my room. Then I went to my dad. I showed him the live feed and said that stepsister would not be moving into my room, and my room wouldn't be disturbed, or I'd evict my stepmother and stepsister. Legally, I can't evict them, but I can evict them if my cameras are removed. They get evicted. If they do not comply, they get evicted. My dad was fuming, called me an a-hole, and accused me of wanting to ruin his happiness. I feel like I may have gone a tad too far here. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. One of the main concerns reading this was that your cat would be safe while you're away. It doesn't sound like he cares very much for you, so it seems reasonable that they wouldn't take care of your cat. So, in that respect, the cameras seem like a good idea. Your dad seems like a jerk. Paying bills is one thing, sure, but that doesn't negate the legality of your ownership. I do recommend, however, that you start contributing as much as you can, if you're able, so that he can't use that against you. Side note, do you have anyone that you can trust to come in and check on your cat regularly while you're away? Not the a-hole. Why would anyone think it's okay to move someone else into your room without even asking you, especially when there's another available room? Sell the house, take your half of the money, and move on with your life. Not the a-hole, and I'm pissed on your behalf. Just because you'll be at college, it does not mean you will never be coming home again. Holidays, summers, etc. That house is your home, and your room is your room. I don't understand your dad. Does he not consider you a part of this family anymore? You're going to college, not the ends of the earth. I'm in the minority, apparently, where I do not know a single family that switched or took away their kids' room when they went to college. My kids kept their room exactly as they left them. I don't see the big deal with stepsister taking the other room. You know, the unoccupied one, with her own bathroom to boot. You need to have a convo with all 3 of them and let them all know, in no uncertain terms, that your room will remain your room and stepsister can take the empty one. Edit. I gave my stepmother a call because we've always been civil before this and explained the situation to her because I didn't want to deal with my dad as of now. Both her and my stepsister understand my side completely and told me they weren't made aware of this. My stepsister has admitted she's always planned to move upstairs since her dog likes it, and she enjoys the independence and extra privacy she would have, especially since she has anxiety and often needs time to just be alone and recharge. If they move in, she's going to have a serious talk with my dad. It won't be on his terms. She said that in the event that the move happens, they'll make sure that my cat is well taken care of and my room is left undisturbed. I kind of feel guilty for assuming they knew already, but I feel much better now knowing that they're on my side. Edit 2. All 4 of us had a talk together. He was still being weird, but a bit less if that makes sense. Maybe because he was being confronted by all of us. Stepmother and stepsister agree to move in still, although they've put themselves on a trial run and will keep paying rent on their other apartment until the end of the year, when their lease runs out, instead of breaking the lease right away. We've scheduled an appointment at a therapist for early next week, soonest we could get, to try to work through this. As I've said in my comments, this attitude really came out of the blue for him, and maybe a therapist can help him deal with everything better. I gave my stepsister a tour of my room and explained how to take care for my cat. Then told her if she needed anything from my room while I'm away, just give me a call. Then we went upstairs and I helped her make her plans to customize her room, since I did it once already and she had no idea where to start off. We should be okay. I hope therapy will help. I, 26 male, am married to Freya, 25 female, and we are expecting a baby together. My sister-in-law Molly, 24 female, is the golden child in my wife's family. My wife has mentioned that to me before, and she doesn't speak to her parents very often, or her sister for that matter. My experiences with Molly have been interesting to say the least. When I first met her, she asked me intrusive questions about money, etc. We left because she wouldn't stop. She judged my dad for having me as a single dad by choice, using a surrogate. That was after she called me a liar, insisted that I had a mom, and when she accepted that it was just my dad and me, she insisted I must have been adopted by him. She called him selfish, said he was a bad father, all kinds of things. We left then too because she again would not stop saying that crap. She always believes she can tell people what to do, and they should listen, because she thinks she knows best on everything. Some other things she has said to me, argued with me over. She told me I should hate my dad for intentionally being a single dad. She said my dad was a stupid a-hole who picked a dumb name for me. She told me I should demand the surrogate who gave birth to me should step up and be my mom. She told me I should change my name to James or Christopher and have a normal surname. Freya and I ended up becoming more distant from Molly when Molly seemed to seek us out just to share more of her wisdom with us. Then a few months ago, she reached out to Freya and said she had nobody else but their parents, and how her friend had broken up with her by calling her names and saying she was insufferable. Freya was trying to see if she and Molly could be closer. She had Molly apologize to me, and they were slowly building up a relationship. Then, several days ago, Molly asked what we were naming our baby. Freya said we were not sharing it until the baby was born. She told us to name the baby Emily or Henry. She said that we shouldn't give the baby a dumb name like mine. Freya told her we were not taking suggestions for names. She told me I shouldn't be like my dad. I should be better and not give our kid a dumb name. She brought up how her parents thought she had the best baby names. Freya told her she didn't care what their parents thought, that this was our baby and we would name them. Molly told Freya that she shouldn't discard their parents since they raised them and that she was always the wiser one and people need to listen to her more because she gives out good advice to people. Then she suggested my father had bad motives for having me alone, and I snapped. I told her it was no wonder nobody liked her or wanted her around because she was a spoiled, judgmental a-hole, and I was sick and tired of hearing her stupid ducking advice because she's clueless. Molly burst into tears and called me an a-hole. Freya laughed and told me it was what she was thinking. Molly sent a text to Freya after saying what I said was so mean. Am I the a-hole? OMG, I loved your answer. She is alone for her attitudes, and she keeps doing it. She deserves to be alone. Go no contact with her. It's better for you and your future son. Not the a-hole. I think it is really telling if Molly's friend can't even stand her anymore. Makes me wonder if her behavior with you and Freya is very common and nobody really likes her because of it. Definitely stay away from her and her drama. Don't let Molly be in your home ever again. Freya may be thinking that Molly can babysit, but that should be a privilege that she has to earn. She's triggering you, and that is more important right now. If Freya wants to see Molly, it needs to be away from you and never in your home. You need space to figure out how to stop being triggered by her. I, 26 male, have a diary. I write in it for stress relief and to vent. It started off as a self-therapy thing, but it works. I don't write in it every day. My sister Kay, 25 female, and I don't have the best relationship. We were both competitive kids. Our parents always compared us and favored which kid was doing better. I don't think they even understand what they were doing or how it screwed us up. So we competed with each other to get the best grades, the most awards, the better friends. We also sabotaged each other a lot. We went to the same college and it got even worse. When we were in college, my sister got in trouble for dating a guy my parents didn't approve of. I thought it was a chance to one-up her, and I started dating a girl, M, who my parents would love. We dated for a year, and with pressure from my parents, we got married. Although my feelings for M weren't big in the beginning, they grew stronger over time. I can confidently say that she is the love of my life, and I would be nothing without her. One morning, M started acting strange. She avoided me. Later that day, she sat me down and said that she was sent an email which I had written about her. She showed it to me, and it was screenshots of my diary. In it, I called M boring, weird, a bit of a loser, and a freak. How I didn't want to marry her, but my parents insisted. M said she thinks it's my sister and asked me to confirm. I called my parents and asked them to call Kay for a family meeting. I asked around, and nobody else had gotten an email with my diary entries, which was worse. Kay came in with her new boyfriend, and I screamed at her for sending my wife my old thoughts and ruining our relationship. I called her a jealous psycho. Kay yelled back that I lied to my parents, and Em and they deserved to know. Kay's boyfriend tried to stop us from arguing. We got into a shouting match. My parents are furious with us both and banned us from speaking about what happened, but I think I didn't do anything wrong. Am I the a-hole? Everyone sucks here, except for your wife. What a mess. Okay, you suck for willingly provoking your sister and for letting this little feud between the two of you last into adulthood. Your sister sucks for willingly provoking you and for letting this little feud between the two of you last into adulthood. She also sucks for reading something that was supposed to be private and for sending it to your wife, an innocent third party in this dumpster fire of a situation. She also sucks for digging up the past to use against you years later. How did she even get a hold of your diary anyway? Things like that are usually kept hidden for this very reason. Your parents suck for apparently knowing about this feud between you and your sister and letting it last into adulthood. They should have shut this down when you were children. Everyone sucks here, except for your wife, and I guess Kay's boyfriend. Your sister's an a-hole for engaging in this immature, petty sibling rivalry into adulthood, and is even a bigger a-hole for deliberately hurting your wife's feelings just to get to you. You are an a-hole for engaging in this immature, petty sibling rivalry into adulthood, and are an even bigger a-hole for going as far as dating and later marrying a person you didn't even like, solely to one-up your sister. It's great you now claim to love your wife, but what you did to her was dishonest and cruel. Something out of a ducking Jane Austen novel. If Jane Austen had lived in the OC in the 2000s. The least you owed her was honesty, and you couldn't even do that. Your parents are a-holes for encouraging this immature, petty sibling rivalry well into their children's adulthood, and for continuing to engage in it today. Furthermore, you are an a-hole for calling a family meeting. Why the hell didn't you confront your sister in private? Don't worry, I know the answer, because you saw this as another opportunity to make her look like crap in front of your parents and victimize yourself. You all need therapy, and your wife deserves so much better than you. Your poor wife. To be called boring and to know you only dated and married to one-up your sister will destroy any and all love she has for you. I will say your sister sucks for reading your diary, but not for telling your wife what you think about her. She now knows the marriage and relationship is based on lies and some stupid competition. Your family and you are all nuts and need serious help. Everyone sucks here, but your poor wife. I, 24 female, got my first apartment without roommates a couple months ago. I finally got my stuff settled in last month, and I decided I'd invite my mom and stepdad over to celebrate me having my first home. I should bring up, however, that I hate my stepdad's guts, and always have. My stepdad came into my life less than 6 months after my dad died when I was 6. He was the classic gruff, stoic stepdad who never smiled and seemed to think that affection was a waste of time. He enforced a ton of very strict rules, many of which he admitted he didn't have a reason for, apart from enforcing discipline. I wasn't allowed to listen to any music he didn't approve of or like, which ended up being most music I liked. I wasn't allowed to have any friends over. I wasn't allowed to wear anything that showed my shoulders, thighs, or stomach. Nobody was allowed to have the TV on during dinner. These are just a few of the rules he had, and he doesn't drink or allow anyone in the house to drink, even me after I was 21. On the suggestion of one of my best friends, I decided to turn dinner into a chance to show him he can't control me anymore, by breaking as many rules as I could. I invited said friend to come to dinner as well. I warned them in advance we'd have extra company. So I wore a cropped tank top and this skirt that's 3 inches away from being a miniskirt. I bought some wine for myself, my friend, and my mom. I had the TV on for all of dinner, as well as this song I always loved that he never let me listen to. It's not inappropriate. It doesn't even have lyrics. He was visibly uncomfortable the entire time, but didn't make any comments besides, "You really need to figure yourself out." My mom said nothing and even had some of the wine, but called me the day after. She said I was just being petty and I should just let bygones be bygones or stop speaking to him. I planned to do that, but first I wanted to show him how he doesn't own me. Not the a-hole. I, for one, think this move was glorious. Do follow through on your plan to stop speaking to him after this, though. He sounds intolerable, as well as intolerant. You were being petty, but potentially to a purpose. You have, without needing words, enforced their understanding of your independence. Power move, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Tell him to figure himself out. Ask if he knows why he needed to control a child who'd lost their father to make him feel like a big man. Your mom shouldn't have let him impose so many rules on you. It was her house, too. Her advice is just stop speaking to him. Isn't she upset that he was so harsh with you?